Well, I am an admirer of Elisa's. Elisa has even worked for me, and the fact is that she is talented.
What's it called? Kermit and Friends?
Kermit and Friends.
Kermit. But
If Kermit.
you're saying
like
not
the
to
frog?
do...
Yeah,
Wait.
I actually have watched a few hours of Kermit and Friends.
How many hours have you watched, Natalie?
Oh, no. Probably indulged in 8 hours.
Holy.
My wife and I watched Benji's ex-girlfriends or whatever's going on. We watched this crazy podcast, and I have to say, this is one of the, probably in the top 5 things I think about right now.
She has a podcast, but she gets to come on the radio. It is craziness upon craziness.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Kermit and Friends. I am Elisa. This is Fozzie, and Kermit is watching from heaven. This is going to be a great show today. I am always kind of nervous before the show. It's very nerve-wracking, booking guests and making sure there's good, fun things for everybody here. I had a very big shock when I got home from work. I arrived to my door, and there was all these roses. Okay, roses from T-Bob. It was such a shock. T-Bob is the COO here. Weezy, are you surprised that I got this note that says from T-Bob to my future wife, Elisa Jones? T-Bob, you're lost for life.
First of all, congratulations for that. I wasn't surprised because I knew that something was brewing.
Yeah.
He has been proclaiming his love to you this whole week, and saying that he realized that you're in love with him as well.
Yeah, these flowers are so nice and beautiful, and I just really appreciate them. They're right here. See, they're so nice, and this is a good thing to do if you're a guy, is send flowers, right? So our guest that's coming on later, I want to get her opinion on that. If you're not really dating someone, if you just know them, from Kermit and Friends, and they send you flowers, is that a good idea? And then they have presumptions that you're their wife, and they give you their last name. Is that something you would do, Weezy?
No, I wouldn't. I give him credit for doing it. It's just I'm concerned about the timing. He seems to be flip-flopping a little bit. He wasn't a big fan of yours a couple weeks ago, I noticed. And so the flip-flopping is what I'm concerned about, I think.
Yeah, so what changed,
but I smell a catfishing job from day one, and it was well played.
What?
What?
What do you mean catfishing?
That's what I'm smelling. So I'll see y'all next week.
Oh, no.
Oh, my God. He's so weird. Anyway, so last week, we had Tan Mom on the show, and she was great. She was fantastic. You're a big fan of Tan Mom. I know that. If you don't know Tan Mom, she's all over the news for being very tan.
Yes.
And she was our guest last week as a surprise. I have to keep our guests a surprise every week because if I don't, people will fuck with those people.
Like that guy that was just on.
Yeah, exactly. Just like him. I mean, he sends me flowers one day. Another day, he's like telling guests not to come on the show. I'm going to ask you, T-Bone Puppet, Bob, what do you think of Bob sending me those flowers and then just like, signing off the show just immediately today?
Oh, I'm fucking glad he did. Because it was me that sent those flowers.
Oh, it was you? Okay, good. Because you're definitely more reliable than Bob. Last week, another thing that happened, Wheezy, is I know you host the wrap-up show after the show. Do you ever get into any like sticky situations where you don't bring somebody on enough, they're not talking enough, they're complaining?
Yes, and they get very upset and they take it very personal. And I know that kind of happened last week to you.
Yes, it did. So last week I got in big trouble because my colleague recommended this actor to come on the show. Okay. And I was really excited. This is a great actor. He's been in Curb Your Enthusiasm. He's been in Sons of Anarchy.
Yeah, that's where I recognized him from. His Sons of Anarchy.
Yeah. So he's been in a lot of shows and people kind of like don't get it. Like if they've never seen Kermit and Friends, like it's an interactive show where there's reoccurring characters. And I thought he'd be great as a reoccurring character every week. So I was kind of like, integrating him within the show, having him ask questions to the guests. He was really upset with me.
I noticed that he had typed something somewhere that I saw that said, I told her I'd give her an hour, and at minute 59, I was out of there.
Yeah, exactly. So on the wrap-up show, if that happens to you, what do you do?
Usually I'll just kind of let them know the next day when they give me 1,000 messages that I'm sorry. Whatever the reason was, you have to kind of explain it to him. The only real person that I had a problem with that was with Jay Redden, actually.
Yeah.
And he wanted on so bad. But I was a little weary of him, so I didn't. But usually people are actually pretty good.
He flashed his butt on another YouTube channel.
Yeah.
So why would you let him on there? That's crazy to let somebody like that on there. That could potentially get your channel taken down. It's very dangerous. So did you end up having him on your wrap-up show?
I actually did. I gave him some time, and I made him promise me, and he's been very well behaved with me. And
okay, good.
So, yeah, that actually worked out.
All right, good. Well, if anybody wants to be on Wheezy's wrap-up show that discusses our guests that we're going to have on this show, like we're going to have Brad Grunberg, the actor, and we're going to have Marni, the wing girl.
Oh, nice.
Yes.
That's great. Now we know.
Yes. So those are our two guests today. And, just such a pleasure to have more people into our community. We want to learn from these people. We want to make friends. So I hope everybody joins Wheezy's wrap-up show that's coming on after this show. It's an absolute pleasure and joy. Everybody, welcome my first guest, Brad Grunberg.
Yeah, I made it.
You made it.
God. I like Wheezy. Wheezy's a good guy. I like to party with Wheezy. Good man.
Yeah, he's a very good man. You are also good.
I'm not mad at you. Listen, I just didn't know. I felt bad with Tan Woman. I didn't understand it. Now I understand it. Now I get it. This is my last time on the show. But anyway, I'm kidding. I'm joking. I love this. Andy Bleen is my boy. He told me to come on this show and have some fun, and I'm back. So let's do it, girl. Let's do it with Froggy and Wheezy. By the way, T-Bob, he reached out to me on an email. Okay. It was weird, but now I understand.
Okay, your audio is kind of popping in and out. I'm just getting some notes here. So just like, can you just refresh or something like that? I'm going to read you guys some of the texts that I got sent by Grunny. Okay, so this is Grunny. That's his nickname. Okay. So Grunny sent, this is going to be a huge show. The topics are the Revenge of the Nerds, Hollywood Tropicana female mud wrestling, Hollywood bachelor private parties, dating over 100 women on the before the internet. You dated over 100 women in LA.
Correct.
And then logging at the dates. I don't know what that means. You gave me the age of your parents, and then you sent me these photographs. So I'm gonna put the photographs that Grunny sent me before he came on the show today. We have this photograph. Okay, what is this?
Oh, that's I used to work in the 20th Century Fox commissary as a waiter after I got out of college. So I went back to 20th Century Fox the other day, and I saw all my boys who are still there. They've been there 30, 40 years in the back of the house. They're the greatest guys in the world. And the commissary was closed for 2.5 years because of COVID, and now it just reopened. So I went back, had a meal, had some laughs with all these guys who I worked with in the late 80s, early 90s, and they're still there.
Okay, you sent me a picture of your salmon. Why did you send this picture to me?
Oh, because it was so good, girl. God, have you ever had a nice piece of salmon? Have you ever?
I have. I never really sent it to a guy that or anyone. But let's see. And then you sent me a picture of just the plate empty.
Yeah, because I ate the whole thing. Get it?
Oh, you ate the whole thing.
Good. It was so good. I ate the whole thing. Believe it or not, I eat a lot.
Okay. So Brad, one of my people here is saying if Grun, if you could see this, turn off echo suppression and settings. There's a little bit of a weird sound. So just fix your sound. They're going to help you. Just turn off the echo suppression. Okay. So obviously we have a very packed show. I wrote down a bunch of ideas of things to talk about today because I want to make sure we run a tight ship since we're so booked. And then also I wanted to congratulate, Charmin Smith. She had an unbelievable conference of women talking about really like major issues. As everybody knows here, she ran for president. So she's talking about healthcare. She's talking about important things, for your family. And so I want everybody to follow Charmin on her YouTube channel. Make sure you follow Charmin Smith and also obviously follow her in the Kermit and Friends Discord where she is. Hopefully Grunny is coming back soon. I really don't want to piss Grunny off because he was so pissed off last week, but this is not my fault this week, right? It was my fault last week. It's not my fault this week.
No, he seems like he'll be okay. I think that echo problem or that clicking problem, you can't test beforehand, so it's not really his fault.
Okay,
so
it's not his fault.
So I think that once he refreshes, he will be good. But he seems like he's going to be a good sport. I have faith.
I hope that he's a good sport because, I'm so worried about upsetting this guy because he was so upset. So were you like?
Wait, you stop it! Stop with the upset. I'm not upset.
Oh, you weren't upset? Oh, okay. So you were happy.
I was just upset that I agreed to do this. But anyway, I'm kidding. I love you. You're great. Listen, you're friends with my buddy Andy Bleeden, who's the greatest guy in the world. Do you agree that Andy Bleeden is the greatest guy in the world?
Yes, he's a very big fan of yours as well. He's been telling about, he talks about you constantly at work and he says what a great person you are and how famous you are and how many films you've been in and all the TV shows. So is that you have a 36-year career. What are you most known for?
Dating hot women. No.
Really?
No. Well, no. I've had my share because I worked at this place called the Hollywood Tropicana Female Mud Wrestling. All these beautiful girls worked there, and I was the MC. And I always treated these girls like my buddies and, protected them. And it was a lot of fun. We had the greatest time. I worked there for 15 years. Okay. And it was great. Girls wrestling in oil and mud. My grandma, Helen Nanny Klein, used to come to the show. And it was great. It was epic. If you had been to the Tropicana, you're young. You were probably in elementary school at that time. But it was great. So many amazing rock stars came in there, actors, all sorts of people.
Okay. And you had a very bad experience with Dr. Phil. You were on the Dr. Phil show. Tell me about that experience.
Am I allowed to swear or no?
Yes.
Okay. Dr. Phil is the biggest fucking jerk off I've ever met in my whole life. My friend had a substance abuse program, and he still has a problem today of drugs and alcohol. And I went on the show to get him help. So we made it all the way to the 4th segment, and the guy fucking had me surrounded by security, me and my friend who I was helping, escorted off the Paramount lot all the way to Melrose. And it was the weirdest, strangest thing. But Dr. Phil is not what he says he is. He's not a doctor. He's a phony fraud and a fuck up. And I'm telling you, I want to go on Howard and talk about it.
I know you've been telling me that. You've been telling me that you want to go on Howard so badly, and you're really into that. So why do you want to go on Howard Stern so bad?
Because Howard has had him on the show, and Howard was at my bar mitzvah. Well, I dream he was at my bar mitzvah. But Howard would understand this because Dr. Phil is the worst human being I've ever met. I met a lot of people in my life. This guy's top 3 worst guys I've ever met. People.
So Dr. Phil's the worst person you've ever met?
One of the worst because he's a con man. I don't like con. He's the worst. He's
a con man?
Bad news. My friend is still hurting because Dr. Phil heard his whole story and we never made it to the end. It never aired. He threw me off the show. I'm the only one to ever be thrown off Dr. Phil. Do you know anybody?
But why were you thrown up? I don't understand why you
I don't know. Still to this day, I
So
don't know.
my sources told me that Dr.
You have
Phil.
sources?
I have sources that told me that Dr. Phil thought it was a fake story, like fake news, what you brought on the show. I'm just getting a caller. It's Wendy from Howard Stern. Kermit and Friends, how can I help you?
Hello, this is Kermit the Frog. I love you, Elisa.
I love you too, Wendy. Thanks for calling in. All right, that was Wendy. Okay, so yeah, my sources told me that you came on Dr. Phil with a fake story. Is there any truth to that?
It's not a fake story.
No?
No, my friend Dave Lerman, the greatest guy in the world. You want to talk to him? He is effed up. Alcohol, drugs, suicide. Dr. Phil thought it was a joke. The only thing he talked about the whole fucking show was his new book called Time Code. It was the strangest fucking episode I've ever. I mean, it was weird.
Okay, if Howard Stern, Brad, if Howard Stern was watching right now, what would you say to him to entice him to invite you on that show? Because a lot of people want to be on that.
Because I would tell Howard, I'm going to tell you what happened from soup to nuts. How I got on the show, the due diligence process, what I had to go through, all the hoops I had to do and perform to get to that day with my friend who didn't want to go on. And we were getting him help. We were talking about his problem. And then all of a sudden, Dr. Phil turned on me and he had security surround me. It was weird.
All right. Okay. That does sound weird. Kermit and Friends. Yes, Wendy.
Alicia, I just want to let you know that I may do a 24-hour live stream this Friday coming up. If anybody wants to come on or hang out or help me keep it going.
Wait, Wendy, you're doing a 24-hour live stream?
Yes.
Isn't that a little too long?
No.
No?
No.
You don't think 24 hours is just a little bit too long? What are you going to do that whole time?
We're going to be singing. We're going to be doing all kinds of stuff. Drinking. All kinds of stuff.
Okay, so this is Friday?
Yep.
All right, is everybody invited?
Yes.
Can Brad come?
Yep.
Are you going to kick Brad off your show?
No, I'm not.
All right, I'll tell him. Sounds good.
All right.
Thank you, Wendy.
You're welcome.
All right, Wendy. All right, so that's great. So, Brad, if you can't get on Howard Stern, at least you can get on Wendy's show. Wendy is a Howard Stern regular, and she's fantastic, and she's doing a 24-hour stream, so that should be terrific.
Okay.
Okay, I'm getting another caller. People are really interested in your story about Dr. Phil. Yes, Kermit and Friends, how can I help you?
I think he's got a good shot on getting on Howard regarding Dr. Phil because Howard has said on numerous occasions that this Dr. Phil has his name on everything in the way of products, including health bars. And he doesn't like the guy, so I think he's got a good shot.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So we're going to try. We're going to do our best. We have Wendy involved now. So hopefully he'll be on there and he'll tell his story. I mean, it just has to be very, I don't know, the story there, it's not enough to it, I don't think, unless he had like video or something. He doesn't have enough. He can't just say, oh, like Dr. Phil. It's not enough story for me, but maybe Howard Stern will be interested. We'll try our best. Thank you, Peter.
Bye.
All right. Okay, so we're going to try our best, Brad. You're in very good hands here. People are going to help you. And even the world of Adam Barta. Adam Barta is a big Howard Stern regular. He just wrote, as someone who's been on the show, I think this guy would be great. So Adam Barta, if you could reach out to Brad.
Adam, I love you, buddy. By the way, I'm going to get Dave Lerman to come on with me, the guy I'm trying to help with his problem.
All right. Okay, so if people want you to be their friend or they want to help you get on the Stern, how do they contact you?
I will give you all my information. They can call me bgrunny@aol.com or my phone number. Listen, I'm an open book. I'd love to talk to anybody who can help me get on the show and tell my story with Dave.
Okay.
That's what we've talked about.
Okay, we have a very good caller now. This caller is my colleague, Brad's friend, the booker of this guest, Andy Bleeden. Thanks for calling in.
Hi, Lisa. Hi, Brad. How are you guys doing?
Great. How are you?
Yeah, so my question is about this whole Dr. Phil thing is, we live in Los Angeles, California. There's quite a number of qualified therapists and counselors and psychologists, psychiatrists. Why does this guy have to go on Dr. Phil to get help? Why make why make a show out of it?
Yeah, why make a spectacle out of it?
Just there's so many people that would be available to help him. Why
Right.
not focus on that?
Right. Great question, Andy. That's exactly what I was thinking. If you really need help, if someone really needs help, do you need to go on TV to get help? I'm going to ask our next guest that question. I'm curious about that. Thank you, Andy. I will ask that to our guests. Thank you so much for booking this guest. Love you.
Thanks, Lisa.
You're welcome. You're welcome. That's a great question. I'm so glad he asked that. Brad, if you wanted to help that friend, why go on TV to do it? Can't you just do it in anywhere else?
That's a very good question, Andy. Never come back on the show. Anyway, the reason is because my friend Dave Lerman, he would not. I gave him that opportunity. I gave him other options to get help. He had done some stuff himself, but he wanted to go on Howard because he knows Howard. He has been on Howard.
No, but he's a whack packer, so he knows Howard in that capacity.
Yeah.
He knows him as a whack. That's not knowing him.
No.
Yeah.
If you know Dave Lerman and Doug Beatty, Doug was his best friend. He had muscular dystrophy. I mean, Howard knows him very well. And Dave has a real problem, like death is like knocking at his door.
So did he get help besides that Dr. Phil?
I keep in touch with him. But he wants to finish what we started with Dr. Phil. He wants to tell the story so people don't, experience what he experienced when we went on the show. Can you imagine if you have an alcohol drug problem, you go on Dr. Phil, who says, I can help you, right? We go on the show. We make it to the fourth segment, Elisa, right? Where he's going to tell my friend, I'm going to help you. I'm going to get you the help you need. And then security surrounds you, and you are escorted almost physically off the lot at Paramount.
But do you know, if you go on Howard Stern, it is going to be worse. They're going to crucify you on there. I'm just being honest with you, Brad. I don't think you're going to.
What do I have to?
No, but if you didn't enjoy getting escorted out, I don't know if you could take what's coming.
What is Howard going to do? I'm going to tell my story. He can have all the.
He's going to say what a lot of people are thinking here, which is, why must you help your friend on the Howard Stern show? The last place.
Because he wanted to go on to Dr. Oh, you mean why I'm going to go on Howard Stern and tell my story?
Yeah. If somebody's suffering, if they're weak, do you think that's the number one place you should go?
Well, he knows Howard. He has a relationship. He and I talked about this. Dr. Phil has been on Howard many, many times. Okay. We want to expose Dr. Phil for the fraud and the fuck up he is. He's a phony motherfucker who fucked with my friend. My friend needed help, Elisa. Do you have friends that need help? And that's where my friend wanted to go to get the help. So I said, okay, I'll try to get us on the show. I can't make him go to these other programs. I did reach out to other people. I did reach out to LA, other programs in Los Angeles to try to help him. But he wanted to go on to Dr. Phil. So there it is. And they did their due diligence with him. They talked to him. It was a whole thing. They had to fly him in from Vegas. It was this whole to-do.
Okay, Brad, your audio's so bad. I'd love to help you. Just fix your audio. It's like popping. It's popping like crazy. But if somebody's out there and they feel like Brad deserves to get the help he needs medically and like psychologically by going on Howard Stern, please reach out. Even though that makes no sense to me whatsoever. Not at all. But okay, I'm going to introduce our next guest. Brad, just stand by. Our next guest is a legend. Okay? Our next guest is a legend, a true YouTube star. So this is not a joke. This is real. This is somebody that can actually help. Okay? Actually, Brad, you should watch this. So this person, I have been watching her videos. I actually got turned on to her through a client of mine. I'm in financial services. I sell precious metals. A lot of people know that about me here. A client said, I sent a client a picture of myself and a picture of my dog. He goes, you know who you remind me of? I said, who? He says, Marni the Wing Girl. Marni the Wing Girl. So I said, oh, Marni the Wing Girl. That sounds familiar. I Googled Marni the Wing Girl, and this incredible woman came up. She is no joke. She knows her shit. If you're a man and you're watching Kermit and Friends, God, please listen to what she has to say. She is a female dating coach for men. She's huge on YouTube. She has like 1 million subscribers on YouTube. She's on the radio. I watched her on Adam Carolla. She was on Dr. Drew. She's published 5 books. She's made appearances on everything: CNN, Men's Health, everything. I mean, everything you can imagine. She is an expert. This is a real expert. We've said we've had experts before. Scratch what I just said. We have had no experts before. This is an expert on dating and relationships. Everybody, welcome to the show. It is my great honor to welcome Marni, the wing girl. Marni, the wing girl.
Hi. Oh, okay. First of all, is my audio okay? I'm so nervous after following Brad. I don't even know how to follow that act, right? Horrible mic. I don't even know what to say, but that was so nice of you. Thank you for that introduction.
Really? I don't even think it was good enough, honestly, because
no, honestly, I hope I want to end this now so that I don't ruin that introduction. That was so flattering. Thank you.
Well, I'm telling you that, I watch your videos and your advice. I write it down. I listen to it. I say, what? I'm upset because I think that you talked to the last guy I dated.
I'm sure I did. I'm sure.
I
hope that I did.
You have 15,000 students. That's what I heard you say.
Oh, I have a lot more students than that. Yeah, I've worked with over 100,000 men. I've been doing this for 17 years.
But you teach these guys these tricks where I feel like I don't want them to know these tricks.
No, they need to know these tricks. I'm not teaching them about how to manipulate women or how to mislead women. I'm telling them and teaching them how to be their authentic selves and still be strong and the leading kind of men that women want to be with. So I feel like I'm actually doing you a service. I'm doing women a service.
Well, you're doing something. You're making us attracted to these men.
Yes.
Because I think the typical men that come to you, they're not like very wealthy.
No, they're the people you would classify as the beta guys, the guys that literally you would not see because they would never approach at you. They lurk and stare at you for hours or even for weeks and months on end, but they would never actually come up and interact with you. And so I'm coaching them and helping them build the confidence so that they can talk to you, they can attract you, and then you are going to want to date them.
So what you said to do, this formula you have,
I have the F formula.
Yeah. So can you explain to the men that are watching, like this guy, Bruce Davis is perfect. Can you explain to these people that are watching what the F formula is?
Yes, of course. So the F formula is my formula for flirting. It's how to flirt with women in a way that they can respond to. And I'll give you like a little tidbit of the information, but most of it is based in finding this like Goldilocks zone, this happy medium between being a pal and a pervert. Really, it's like guys can go to two different directions. They can go super sexual, which creeps women out, or they can go super friendly and ends up getting guys into the friend zone, the nice guy zone, the I'm never going to sleep with you zone. So what I'm teaching guys is how to find that happy medium in a place and space where they can connect with women, but also where they can display their sexual intent in the most sexy and welcomed and attractive way possible by women. So the F formula is 3 phases of flirting. And so you go through the first phase, and when you notice indicators of interest from a woman, basically saying she's happy with what you're doing, you can go to the next phase. Then you go to the third phase. And that's it. It's a whole program. It's like a 90-minute program, so I can't walk through the entire thing. But it's really just teaching you how to be able to read the women that you're interacting with and flirt with confidence, knowing that she's going to be receptive to you.
So you told a story. You're taken, but you told a story about being in a grocery store and the guy really turned you on. Can you tell the audience what that guy did?
Oh my God, I don't even know that story that you're talking about, but I can tell you other stories about guys. Like this one guy that I've met recently. So I'm a parent now, right? I'm interacting with other parents, and this one father who is pretty overweight. He's like 5'8". My kids go to a Jewish school. So the other parents are Jewish and we're not known for our height. So he was 5'8", kind of balding. And by the end of our conversation, I was completely into him. Like, obviously I'm married, so I'm not going to do anything, but I was turned on by him. And it was because he was able to tease me appropriately, not be super slimy and creepy with me, but really holding his own and being very proud and confident about who he is as a man. And it's not because he was bragging to me or telling me about all of his accomplishments. It was what he had internally that I was taking in. And that's really what I teach to most men. It's about how to be this self-assured man and have that radiate to women, because that's the sexiest thing a man can be, is confident and clear.
You cannot fake confidence though.
You can't fake it.
So the thing is, like, do your videos make these guys more confident? How could that be?
How can it be? It's because confidence comes with practice, right?
Yeah,
it's
and knowledge
yourself
too.
A certain story, believing something about yourself, and going down that path. So I hope that the videos that I make give men the inspiration and the motivation and the tools to get their way to confidence. Because to be honest, this is the process that I followed. Most of my videos that are on confidence or how to speak to people are things that I've had to learn for myself. I was really self-conscious. I was uncomfortable around people. I did not get along with women because I was intimidated by them. Pretty girls totally intimidated me when I was younger. And so I've gone through each of these steps. So it's not just like a quick fix formula. But once you do implement some of these things, that's where the confidence comes from. It comes from implementation, practice, and seeing that everything is okay. And then you get up to like a new level, and then you can grow from there. So hopefully each of these videos, which I try to make sure that they give like step-by-step broken down direction, hopefully they can take something they learned from this video, apply it, and then from there is where their confidence can grow from.
So I already have. So even though these videos are for men, I feel like everybody should watch them.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm really just talking about like at the core of how to build confidence and be comfortable. Or at least I hope that's what I'm doing.
Pretty much, guys, just don't be like a desperate loser. Like,
but that's really hard because some guys are like, I don't feel like a desperate loser, or I am a desperate loser. How do I stop being this desperate loser? Because that's very challenging, especially if the feedback that you're getting, especially from women like you, right? You're a gorgeous woman.
Thank you.
Very confident woman, right? So if they're interacting with you and you're not giving them the time of day, or in some way, and you're probably not doing this on purpose, but you're insulting them in some way and letting them know that they're not good enough for you, that's the evidence that they're going to receive, and that's the evidence they're going to continue telling to themselves. So it's very challenging to get out of that hole. And the first step, which is in the first step of every program that I have, is to get really clear on who you are and figure out your boundaries, your rules for yourself, what you're willing to accept, and then also listing out your wants. Because the more clear that any person, not just a man, can get on themselves and what they are willing to allow and what they want, instead of going off of the feedback they get from other individuals or trying to achieve what they think other people want, that's the place where confidence starts. It's like clarity on who you are. And that is the first step to getting out of the desperate loser stage, because you're not a desperate loser if you don't need anybody and you're not trying to get something from somebody.
Yes, so don't come at the girl like you must have her, you need her acceptance. Because women can feel that, we could feel
smell it.
Yeah, we could tell if you're just coming from a place where you just need us to like look at you and say you're good. You need to be having a lot of shit going on your own. Don't even come anywhere near us until you're good. You got to be really good. Don't even approach. Right, Marni?
Well, actually, I wanted to ask you. So, what did you think about those flowers that were given to you? Like, be honest. Like, what? Be honest.
Okay. Yes. So when the flowers came, I was shocked. I was really shocked, and I liked it. I did like it. I think that's a strong move, sending flowers.
Yeah.
The guy that sent it, I think he had good intentions, but he has turned on me since, because he's not happy with the amount of times that I've texted him back in the process of him sending me flowers. So when you send someone flowers, do not send in hopes they're going to do something. You give. That's not what giving is. When you give to someone, you give, and you don't care what the outcome is. Right, Marni?
I totally 100%. And the truth is that giving flowers is not going to suddenly trigger attraction.
Okay, hold on. That's a lie. I did not turn on you over anything.
You threatened me this morning to not come on the show. You said, if Wheezy's on, I'm not coming on. You texted me 32 times.
I don't want to be on the same panel with Wheezy, because all he wants to do is start argument and discontent. That's all that was about. Now, as far as everything else is concerned, now that's a different way to go, because with Wheezy on here, everything turns south. It don't matter what I say.
So he's very jealous of this guy named Wheezy, my co-host. And that is not appealing for women. Women don't want to see you being threatened. And the same with men. Men don't like it when women are threatened by the waitress. So if you are threatened, pretend you're not. Would you say?
I totally agree. So we actually just did a masterclass on this topic recently about like turnoffs. things that are huge turnoffs to women, and
Yeah,
jealousy
yeah.
definitely came up. So the host of the masterclass that I did, he was talking about how he had done like years of research on this topic. He would date tons of models and he would go out with them. And he said the same thing happened every single time. We'd go to a restaurant and they would suddenly start flirting with some other guy. So he tried different tactics to see what would be the most appealing to these women. And so he tried being aggressive towards the other guy. He tried being flirty with other women that were there. He tried ignoring the woman. And the thing that the woman responded to most is when he went over and befriended the other guy and started talking about something that the girl couldn't necessarily be a part of. So he'd go up to the guy and the girl who were chit-chatting, and he would start chatting, say, hey, are you a soccer fan? I see that like on your shirt it says that you're a fan of this team. Right? So right away, that cuts her out in some way. And he befriended the guy saying, I don't care. Like I'm comfortable in my skin. I'm happy with you on my arm. I don't think anything else is going on here because I know that she's attracted to me and she's coming home with me later. So I can be friends with you because I'm not threatened by you. And that was the biggest winner out of all of them. And then so moving forward, that's what he did every single time. And every time that girl went home with him at the end of the night.
Really?
Yep.
So
befriending the other guy.
But you kind of have to fake it, right? To do that.
You totally have to fake it. You do.
Oh,
but
is
then
it
when you
fake?
realize that you're winning because of it, it's not faking it anymore, right? So maybe the first couple of times you're putting it on and you're suppressing that anger that you feel. But when you understand that she's just trying to, well, be herself, really. She's just engaging with another person. Maybe she's trying to make you jealous. Maybe she's trying to see what you're made of. You don't know what her intention is, but there's something there in her that's going on that can be there for now. And you acting up on your own isn't going to help subside that energy. So if you go up and you're cool and you can befriend that guy and then say, okay, oh, they're calling us for dinner now, our table's ready, then you are putting yourself out as the best possible person ever. Doesn't mean that you have to take her home afterwards, because you may decide that was a crappy thing for you to do as a woman, was go and flirt while I'm on a date with you. But it still puts you, the man, in that wonderful position where she's not turned off. You're kind of still in control of you and the interaction, and you can feel good about yourself afterwards. There's no need for jealousy, especially if you're a person who is confident in who you are.
But what if you're extremely jealous? What do you do then?
If you're extremely jealous, then you have to figure out your own tools so that you can calm yourself down, right? So for me, I'm an extremely anxious person. So I've worked a lot. Yeah. So I've worked a lot on my anxiety. I've learned breathing techniques. I've learned different visualizations. I've learned about how to express myself properly to lower my anxiety. And for me, I find that's the most effective thing, right? So if you're a jealous person, I would say be cool in person and then go back later that night and talk to the person that you're on a date with and say, hey, I have to tell you something. I didn't like how you went up to that guy when we walked into the restaurant. That really bugged me. It really bugged me. And I know that's not saying anything about you or what you can do whatever you want to do, but I'm telling you that's how I feel. It really bugged me. I don't like that. And then you have a conversation about it. And then if that makes her uncomfortable or that pisses her off, then you get to see more about who she is, right?
Yeah.
But I think this is my belief. I don't know if it's true. It works for me. It works for the guys that I coach. The best way to settle any internal chaos, I think, is to express yourself and open your mouth in a kind and caring way, not in an attacking way.
So be truthful. Don't hide it.
Yeah.
Be truthful, but try to just chill out a little bit.
Yeah, for sure. You can put on a show in the moment and then say, you know what? I was hoping this would calm down, but I have to be honest with you. I think you're a great girl, but it really bugged me. I didn't like it before when you went up and talked to that guy. I know I have some jealousy issues, but I want to talk about that and see what comes out of the conversation. The truth is that you have to get these things off of your chest, but you have to do it in a way that isn't attacking to the other person, and so that they can actually be responsive to you. And maybe you're not doing it on the first date. Maybe you do it after the third time that you see it, where you're like, hey, this isn't cool for me. I'm going to be respectful of you. When I'm out with you, there are no other girls. Maybe there are after you leave, but when I'm out with you, there are no other girls. And I hope that you can do the same thing while we're out together. This is our time. And if it's not something that she wants to do or not something that she can do, then you decide whether or not it's something you want to be a part of.
And you say to men that they have to make it a roller coaster for the woman to build up that attraction.
Yes.
So that part was upsetting to me because that's my last guy did that. The last guy that got me, that's what he did. He made it.
It works, right?
That was the last guy to sleep with me. He made it into a roller coaster where it was like emotional ups and downs. Does he like me? Does he not like me?
That's for the beginning part. Like, listen, I'm not telling people to make a roller coaster that somebody wants to get off of and is throwing up on the entire time that they're riding the roller coaster. My point is to make it fun and not to stay the same all the time. So there's lots of guys, like when I was talking before about the pal and the perv, right? The pal is really good at connecting, really good at building friendship. If you had a guy that was sitting in front of you that's all that he did the entire time was listen to you and shared with you and complimented you. Granted, depends on how attractive you are to him, but most likely it wouldn't really fire up a lot of feelings inside of you. You might
you're too relaxed.
You might get relaxed and safe. Yeah. But it's not necessarily an I want to jump your bones type of feeling. That's why you have to mix it in with some teasing and some flirting and some challenging. Again, not a roller coaster that's going to make you throw up. It's a roller coaster of fun. It's a fun experience to be with that person rather than just being like all jokey or all connection or all building friendship or all sex. We just want to mix with everything.
But you're including aspects of fear, I think.
Of fear?
Because it's a roller coaster and it's ups and downs and you're not too safe.
You know what? That is part of attraction too. It's the fear of potentially that they're going to take that away from you, right?
Yeah.
But it is an aspect of fear, but it's not used in a negative way. And the aspect of fear comes from also a man who embodies confidence and the fact that he can have choice. That if this doesn't work out, I'm fine to go turn around and I know that I'll meet somebody else. So that fear, it's not like I'm trying to scare you. It's the fear of I could walk away at any moment. I'm choosing to be in front of you and I want to go on this roller coaster with you. We can hold hands the entire time. We can make out at the end of it. But I mean, if it doesn't work out, I'm okay to get off this ride.
Wow. Oh my gosh. It just seems like a lot to get into a relationship. It seems...
It's not. The thing is, I know it seems like so much considering I have like 400 videos. So it's just like it just seems that there's so many steps.
There's so much content. Each video is different. Every video.
I know.
Yeah.
But it's really just to tackle any issue that anybody has coming up. And the truth is, I'm in a 17-year relationship. It is a lot.
Is that how your husband got you?
No, actually, it's so I met him actually 2 weeks before I started my company. And I will say he was like the model that I was trying to get everybody to replicate. Like
Really?
Listen, I wasn't attracted to him when I first met him at all. He's not my type. Like I came from a background of liking small Jews who were balding, wore glasses. Like that was my world. And he was the complete opposite. He's mixed. He's a little bit taller. He's American. I'm Canadian. Anyway, just total opposite to me. So he didn't catch my attention at first. But the way that he joked around with me, then the way that he listened to me, the way that he teased me, the way that he connected with me, I loved. And then behind that, I just loved his core. His core was confident and bold. He could lead with me.
He had natural confidence, though. I think he had natural confidence.
No, not natural.
He didn't.
That was earned. That was earned and learned for him. He learned to be that way. He not that he did the same exercises that I give to all these men, but he had to build up that skill. He also came from a background of being self-conscious and insecure, as do most people growing up, right? But he actually like learned and earned that confidence, and I could feel it as soon as I interacted with him.
Yeah. Wait, my co-host is saying something wheezy. You're saying Bob is completely losing it. What's going on?
Oh yeah, he's just in the private chat, just being like, he's very upset. I mean, he thinks that you brought him on here to troll him, and that this is a whole thing against him, and that everything on the show is about him.
No. See, that's what I love about Wheezy. He always puts words in my mouth. He don't know what I'm saying. It's the same thing with you, Elisa.
Bob, I mean, you sent me flowers, and now this.
Okay, look, here's the problem. I sent you flowers. That's it. You guys got me excited about who the guests were on the show today. So I really wanted to know, but y'all wouldn't tell me. So I love that.
Should I date a guy that's always complaining?
No. Well, yes. You can, if that's what you like that's the whole thing. If you're a complainer as well, or if you like people who complain, date him. I'm a huge complainer. That's actually one of the things that my husband dislikes the most about me, and then likes about me is that I complain. So I think like that he liked that I could hold my own and represent myself. Right. And yes, it comes in the package of being a complainer as well. And I've toned that down, but I think it's something that he likes and then also dislikes about me sometimes.
All right. So you are incredible. I love your content. How can people follow you so that way they can get more of this knowledge?
They can go to winggirlmethod.com and they can go sign up for my newsletters. I send out information every single day. And then also I'll send out a newsletter on Tuesdays that shows you my YouTube channel. But if you want to go to my YouTube channel, it's youtube.com/Marni Kinrys. Or if you search for the Wing Girl, you'll find me. And I want to have you on my podcast.
Oh my gosh.
I do. I really think you are.
Thank you. I would love to go on it.
Wonderful.
Wow.
I will arrange it with Leaf. Yes.
Okay, perfect. Did you have fun on Kermit and Friends? I know you didn't have
I did. I had a great time. I wasn't sure what to expect when I got on. I wasn't sure if you're going to make fun of me, but
no.
Time.
I'm a huge fan. Like huge.
Oh, I appreciate that.
So yeah,
I really appreciate that.
I mean, I'd love to go on your show, and
I would love that. Yay! Wonderful.
All right, thank you, Marni.
Okay, happy Sunday.
Happy Sunday. Wow, cool. All right. So Marni, the Wing Girl, obviously Google her. I'm telling you guys, you're going to learn. If you watch her videos consecutively, that's what I do. In fact, I don't even know how to do this, but I want to put her on autoplay. So I just listen to her all night long because she is so brilliant when it comes to just like the human psychology and how to deal with people. And pretty much it's just be cool. Don't be stupid. Like, don't make a big deal out of things. Bob, I hate to say it, but like, you're a good example. Like, you sent me flowers and now you're complaining about Wheezy and all these other things. And you got to make it easy for the girl. You got to make it easy for me.
That's what I wanted to do because, I really just wanted to ask you a question.
What?
Will you marry me?
Bob, it's really tough because, you called me a sex trafficker last week.
That's before we fell in love.
No, Bob, I think you were in love then, actually. I really do. And, it's hard to like want to marry somebody that you can't trust at all. That calls you a child sex trafficker. He's not in line with like, anything with my life and, where I see myself. It's really nice, the flowers and everything that he's done. But it's just, we're far away from where we need to be engaged. What do you think, Charmin? You're on mute, by the way.
I think you're 100% on the market. I personally need somebody that I have just a little bit more faith in the consistency of their behavior than what we see on a weekly basis from Bob. I would run from Bob's marriage proposal as quickly as possible.
Yeah, I mean, it's complimentary. The flowers are great. I was so happy when I saw those flowers, man. I was happy. But it's just, I can't rely on Bob at all. I can't rely on him. He's wishy-washy. What'd you think of Marni, by the way?
I think she's wonderful. What a great addition. I can't wait to see you on her podcast.
Oh, I'm definitely going on there. I cannot wait. And I think she's in LA too. So, man, I would love to,
you think she could get you a guy?
I kind of gave up on that, Charmin. I'm fine. I think I'm fine right now. It's not that I gave up, but I think like I'm just building myself up right now. So I'm working really hard. I'm doing very well with my work and I just want to focus on that. And then I think I'm going to get to a good vibration and what do they call it? Yeah, like a good vibrational area where good people will come to me. But right now I'm still like concentrating on that. So I want to be like attracting incredible people to me. And I don't know if I'm quite there yet, but I know I'm close. Does that make sense?
I get it. Absolutely. I don't chase, I attract.
I don't chase, I attract.
Right.
Exactly.
The right one's out there for me. They'll find me, come to me. I don't have to run around and, get people's attention. That's not the way it works for me.
Yeah. And I hate to say it, but we're too good for a lot of people.
I mean, it is weird because it is hard to date somebody after you reach a certain point in your life. It's hard to find somebody who's a good match for you. And you do need to be really picky.
I mean, let's just be honest. Who's going to be as fun as us, as good looking as us, as hilarious, as smart, as successful? No one. I mean, if you could find me a guy on my level, I'll take him. But I don't see anybody like that. I don't.
I get it. It's tough. I mean,
we're in the same boat.
Yeah, we really are. It's hard to date once you reach a certain level, and you have to be really picky because they have to understand the public life and they have to be able to kind of play the game. There's a game that has to be played.
Yeah, they have to be incredible. We have to be impressed. And flowers are impressive, but then insulting me and texting me 32 times, harassing me all day and night is not a good way. It's not. Marni, just watch Marni's videos, you guys. Watch Marni's videos.
And I'm really glad you called Bob out on the sex trafficking comment. That he did that last week, and then he doubled down on it, and then he sends you flowers this week and thinks he's going to get a yes on a marriage proposal. It's so much harder to get our attention and keep our attention than that. Right? He really has to. He's got a whole evolution he would have to make.
I mean, I want to keep getting flowers. I don't want to hold anybody back from that.
Right.
But please be nice to me after you send the flowers.
Yes. Be nice before and after the flowers. The flowers, I know there's this idea that you can be a jerk and send flowers and it wipes the slate clean, but that's not the truth. Send flowers as often as you want, but you are still going to be in trouble.
I mean, my expectations are so low. I'm like, just be nice as long as the flowers are alive.
Right. You can't be a jerk while the flowers are still alive. You have to wait till the flowers die to be a jerk again. There should be at least a week winning span for bad behavior where you expect them to be nice.
Yeah, Bob, he couldn't do it. He didn't even really try. Like, his effort was so low. Bob, you know that your effort was terrible. Terrible. Horrible. Couldn't be worse, Bob.
No. See, everything's hurrah. You're blowing everything out of proportion. I don't get it. What am I supposed to be complaining about now besides Wheezy?
I don't know why you complain about Wheezy. I think you're very jealous of Wheezy. He's the co-host here.
Okay, let me correct that. I've never been jealous of Wheezy because I never could, because I knew that Wheezy was at the center point of everybody hating on me, and he has been even today. Tall Dark attacked me with a message.
Do you want to go on this roller coaster ride?
And that message was a total failure. But who was his buddy in crime over there about that? Wheezy.
24 karat gold.
He be plotting behind my back with Wiz, Tall Dark, with Shamrock, with all these different characters. And I already know this.
Bob, you're concentrating on all this negative stuff. Don't you see, like, who I am, what I represent? I don't represent any of that stuff. I just try to keep it positive, and you're just concentrating.
Right, and I'm trying to tell you, I want to ignore all of that. I don't want to.
But you're not. You texted me 32 times about it.
Why didn't you just answer me? Okay.
Because it's
what
just
about
not.
Wheezy? I didn't text you that many times for that. Only, what? Last night you asked me what I was doing or something, and I told you I was upstairs in the garage, hanging out with my friend, and then I had to go to the eat thing.
You really gotta shape up, Bob, because I can't marry a guy like this. Kermit and Friends.
The crazy thing is with Bob, you speak nothing but kindly about him. And even with all his shenanigans, you speak nothing but kindly about him. And for most people, for someone like you, that would be enough, and that would be the world.
Yeah. Well, you're saying that. So I just want somebody to talk kindly about me, but I want a lot. You know, Peter, Bob just doesn't have it, and I hate that. But
no, I understand that. But you know what? For some people, regardless of different positions in life, for some people, the mere fact that you would show them that kind of attention and that kind of kindness, that would mean everything. But he just takes it to a bizarre extreme.
Yeah, he does. He takes it too far. You're right. No, he's not in line with, what I need. He just can't be cool. Like, he can't go on Wheezy's wrap-up show. He just can't handle that. He's too jealous. Wheezy's my co-host. What am I supposed to do about that? Bob, you have to be a team player. And
what you do is you go with the guy who doesn't call you a sex trafficker. Simple.
Yeah, exactly. You go with the guy that is nice. I hate to say bad things about Bob because he sent me a puppet. He sent me flowers. He's good sometimes. He's very, very nice.
Even when you and I texted back and forth about that Amazon box for him, you speak of him with nothing but respect and kindness. And for most people, that would be the world. And they understand, okay, we're two different people, but you know what? She shows me this kindness. That would mean everything, but he just doesn't get it.
Yeah, he doesn't get it. That's okay. I'm going to direct him towards Marni's YouTube channel. So, yes, so Marni's YouTube channel, just Google Marni the Wing Girl, and please watch all her videos so that way Bob can get in line and the other guys can get in line before they send flowers to anyone, because you have to come correct. If you send somebody flowers, you have to be ready. You can't text them hundreds of times complaining about their co-host. That's just not good. It's not sexy. It's not hot. It's bad.
It's bad. And I was pulling for him on the marriage, but
yeah, I was pulling for him too.
He couldn't keep it together.
All right, okay, Peter, thank you so much for calling. Love you.
Take care.
Thank you. That was Peter from the Kermit and Friends Discord. If you're not in the Kermit and Friends Discord, what are you doing? What are you doing? If you're not in the Kermit and Friends Discord, you're missing out on so much. All right, you're back. What'd you think of Marni?
I like Marni. I think she's got things in perspective. I wanted to talk about like the line that I use with women. I always ask women, my opening line is nice guys or bad boys. And if they say nice guys right away, I like that. I will continue. But if they look at me and say, what did you say? That means bad boy. And I don't have time for that. Why do girls like bad boys? I'm trying to figure that out. Why?
I think it's what Marni was saying about the combination of like, you're not just one thing. You keep it like surprising for the woman, and it's kind of like a roller coaster, and you make her feel
but who wants? But like the girls I work with at the Tropicana, all these dirtbags would come in and they would treat them bad and cheat on them, and I go, why do you want that? You know, is that exciting? Is that? You're
talking about the mud wrestling people, right?
No, I'm just saying girls in general, beautiful girls. You know, smoke shows. You know, they all. You know, why would they want?
Yeah, but why are these guys going after smoke shows only? That's like weird. And
no, any girl's a smoke show. I mean, it's only in the eye of the beholder. Anybody can be a smoke show. I'm just saying, but why would these women want these guys who are lying, cheating?
Okay, I have an expert calling. Kermit and Friends. Oh. Kermit and Friends, how can I help you? Sugar? Hello? Sugar, I know you're an expert. All right, never mind. All right, that was Sugar. She was an expert. Sugar, call me back. Bad boys.
I have one other question that's really upsetting to me. How does T-Bob know where to send those flowers? He has your address? Oh my God.
Well, I'm actually moving. I'm actually moving, so anybody could have my address right now.
I like T-Bob. He's just misunderstood, right? Let's be honest.
I mean, not everybody can be a perfect. Okay, so
no one's perfect.
Yeah. People saying, "Can you drop the show number?" It's scrolling literally at the bottom. I don't know how people.
Why is he calling you a sex trafficker? What's the backstory on that? Why is he doing that? Bob? Why are you calling her a sex trafficker? What's going on there, buddy?
Why don't you ask all these pedophiles that she hangs around?
Pedophiles?
Yeah,
what?
I'll see y'all next week.
That's not nice, Bobby. Come on, you're better than that. What pedophile? What are you talking about?
I don't know. Seems to be a bunch of wacky dudes around here. I think Wheezy's the ringleader.
Which Wheezy's a good guy? He protects.
I don't know, but he acts like a sawed-off faggot little bitch. So if she wants to see me and him and argue, bring that little faggot ass punk motherfucker.
Don't call him that. Don't call him that. Why are you calling him that?
Little bitch. That's exactly what he is. He's a little fucking shenanigan little bitch.
Bob, are you mad at me that I told the truth?
He's a nice guy at the beginning of the week. Makes best friends with everybody. Makes up with me, and then by this time of the week, he's already started his fucking shit.
Bob, you're the one that's been lying to everybody.
We're not even on the same panel to get together. Do you know how much I mean that, you little faggot?
Don't call him that. Why are you calling him that? What a little jerk. He's such a jerk. What is he doing?
He's so upset that I was right about everything that happened today, because he's been telling everybody, oh, you guys are going to see what happens. And I'm like, Bob, the first thing you should do is go up there and apologize about what you said on her show. You should apologize to the same crowd that you said that about. He's like, no, I don't want to dwell on the negative. And so that's why I'm the bad guy, because I'm just trying to get him to do the right thing.
Yeah, no, I know you're trying to do the right thing and you're the good one. Bob's obviously the bad one. It just sucks that he can't even be nice for a week. Not even 1 week he can't be nice.
I tell you what, he's
there's something wrong with Bob. If he's got to have he's got this this butt fetish that he's got to see everybody's butthole. There's something wrong with him.
Well, that's the best part of him right now because everything else is going down the tubes. I mean, he is just really mean to Wheezy's, mean to my friends and people that are important to me. That is not
Cave
good.
Live is here, everybody. How you doing?
Yeah, the Man Cave Live is here.
Done. Okay, I'm sick of this.
What are you sick of, Bob Puppet?
You know
They're
what
cool.
I'm sick
They're
of.
cool.
I don't know why you keep
I
even
love
bringing that
Jerry Jeffers,
fake
my
up.
buddy.
I don't think that's Jerry. Okay, so we're gonna just let Bob do whatever he wants, and if he'd like to, here we have T Bob's confronter. T Bob's confronter, what's going on?
I just wanted to know if I've been trying to ask T-Bob a question, but he refuses to answer it. So I'm thinking maybe he'll answer it if I'm on your show.
What's the question?
Well, I just want to know, is the reason why he wears a beard so he can cover up the nail scratch marks from the woman who alleges he raped her at knife point but got off on a plea deal because T-Bob intimidated her from testifying?
Whoa. Well, he's not on right now, but that is a good question. I wasn't expecting that question, but I also don't like that beard, so we'll find out. Okay, we're going to find out all the answers. So if anybody has a question like T-Bob's confronter, please don't hesitate to ask. I'm going to post the call-in number here. So you can ask any question you want. If you have a question about Brad, the guy that is wants to be on Howard Stern. What do you think of that, T-Bob's confronter? Do you see the guy that wants to be on the Howard Stern show to help his friend? He wanted to be on Dr. Phil in the Howard Stern show to help his friend. That was the only way he could help that friend. What do you think of that?
Well, it's pretty difficult to get on Howard Stern's show, so I just hope that he's not using you, because you have connections with Benji and.
No, he is, but it's okay sometimes to be used for that. I'm fine with it. But it's just interesting. What is help? I wonder if we'd help the guy if it wasn't like publicized. That's all I was wondering. But regardless, if anybody wants to help Brad, please contact me, call me here, and I'll connect you, obviously. So, your thoughts on the whole dating advice thing. Anything on that, T-Bob's confronter?
Marni is very cool. I'm going to definitely check her out.
Yeah, you should check her out. She'd be great for you.
Yeah, I'm doing okay in that front, but I have diabetes, so I'm just really into exercising and trying to eat healthy.
Oh yeah, you're doing good in dating. Wait, hold on one second. Kermit and Friends, how can I help you?
Yes, this is Kenneth from Texas.
Hey Kenneth, thanks for calling in.
I definitely, I just think that T-Bob just needs to learn a lesson in being a gentleman. Because the way he was acting toward you just wasn't right.
Yeah, it wasn't right. I agree. I totally agree. Yeah, it's been difficult with him, but I just try to keep my spirits up however I can. And if that's avoiding 32 calls from T-Bob, then that's what it's got to be. Sometimes you just have to be in your own space and just protect yourself from any negative energy coming in. And that's something that's very important to me. That's why, I end up talking to somebody like Marni or, somebody like, what's that guy's name? Robert Puff or, somebody with very high energy because I protect my energy or like Charmin or like Wheezy, some people here, you end up talking to people at high vibration like you if you protect your space. So you got to protect your space. And if somebody's calling you over and over, I just don't take those calls anymore. At night, I just like to be in my own space, just my own thoughts with nobody else's thoughts coming in. And you have to protect yourself from that. And maybe that's a bad thing, but it works for me, Kenneth.
Also, I do have my own YouTube channel.
Okay.
If you get an opportunity and you want to stop by, you're more than welcome.
Thank you. It'd be my pleasure.
It'll be under the channel name of Kenneth 39.
Kenneth 39. Thank you, Kenneth. Your friend Wendy's calling in. Yes, Wendy. Kermit and Friends. How can I help you?
And also, I would like to let everybody know if you want to purchase my merchandise, I can post the link in Kermit and Friends, or you could give up my link, Alicia. I have a merchandise if anybody wants to purchase it.
Okay, so if somebody wants to post Wendy's merchandise in the chat, I'd be happy to promote that. Did you sell any merchandise yet, Wendy?
I don't know yet. I have to look and see.
Is the merchandise going to your bank account? I hope so.
Yes, it is. It's going all to me.
Okay, good for you.
I just have somebody helping me with all the designs and stuff.
Okay, if somebody would like to buy me a Wendy t-shirt, I will gladly wear that.
Okay.
Terrific.
I have hoodies, I have cups, and other stuff on there.
All right, Wendy, sounds great. I can't wait to wear your fashion.
And I even have kids' shirts on there, too.
You have what?
I have kids' shirts on there, too.
Shirts with Ken on it?
For kids.
The guy that just called in?
I have t-shirts for kids on there I'm selling, too.
Oh, great. How are those doing in sales?
I have to look on my website and see if I sold anything yet.
All right. Well, let us know. Keep us posted. I'm happy for you, Wendy. Everybody look up Wendy Pack on YouTube. She's terrific. Thanks, Wendy.
You're welcome.
All right. So everybody's having shirts. Everybody's selling things. That's cool. Okay. So, all right. So this has been a good show. I'm tired, honestly. This show wears me out. You guys think it's easy doing this? Oh, by the way, I have somebody named Kay Jobs. Kay, you're muted. You don't have a picture. You look horrible. You don't have anything. Oh,
Hi.
hold on. Oh, wait, Kay, 1 second. You're next. Just hold. 1 second. Do not hang up. Yes, Kermit and Friends. Kermit and Friends. How can I help you? Andy.
Hey, Lisa.
Hey, what's up?
Yeah, I heard you got sick this week, and I was really concerned. Could you tell everybody on Kermit and Friends about it?
Yes, I can. Thank you, Andy.
Okay.
You're the best.
Thank you.
All right, that's my colleague, big Kermitarian, huge Kermitarian. So my colleague saw me getting sick this week. I had 14 buffalo wings. I threw up 7 times. 7 times I threw up, Kay. 7 times in a row. I was on my bathroom floor, and my dog was just barking at me. So I thought Fozzie would be helpful in a situation like that, but he wasn't helpful at all. He was just staring at me, barking at me, and I thought I was going to die, and it was horrible. I'm better now, but I'm changing my diet. I had 14 buffalo wings. It was just ridiculous. It was stupid. And then my colleague told me to drink charcoal. I did that. He broke apart, like, I counted how much charcoal he put in this cup, and it was way more than what the bottle said. They said 2, and he put like 7 in there. So we got into a whole thing, but you'd have to work in my office to really see the humor in that. But Kay, what's going on?
Not much. Just I don't know. I really don't even remember what I said in that video, but I was trying to send Oprah Winfrey some information about like who I was and what I was, and I'm trying to get it out to the world because I really want to be able to talk to the world about some of the things that I've been through. Like, and I've been here like this is my 75th incarnation on Earth. So.
Okay, and so you want to reach Oprah Winfrey. See, we're like a connecting show here. Okay, you want to reach Oprah Winfrey. What do you want? If Oprah Winfrey was watching right now, what would you want her to know about you?
That I'm not after her because of her fame. Like I think because you know, like her site blocked me on Facebook for putting. I guess I kept putting too many videos or something. I seen like a couple of videos. I was saying, "Hey Oprah, like let's talk," and then that's all I said. And then they blocked me on Facebook.
Okay, why do you want to talk to Oprah?
Because I have a lot to say, and it's very important. And I also want it to be said in a like in somebody like who can interview me properly. I'm not to say you're not interviewing me, but I don't know. I feel comfortable with Oprah. I'm like she's the only talk show host that I know of that is like just genuinely interviews people and talks with them about what's going on, and she believes in a lot of stuff. Like she has people on. Sorry, I'm really nervous. I'm like really super stage fright. So
you should look at this as practice because Oprah. I mean, she's in front of a live studio audience. This would be a lot easier.
Yeah. So, I mean, what I was thinking was like not to go on her show, but to like how, you know, where they record on video and you're sitting there in a room by yourself and then it just broadcasts later. But I mean, I seem like I'm really timid and shy at first, but I'm actually like super, like, sometimes I'll never shut up. And so, like, I can talk for, it's funny that the one lady that you said she has a 24-hour show going on, and I was like, holy shit, that's what I told Oprah Winfrey. I was like, we have to be there for 24 hours. That's how much I have to talk about, and I'll have to take Adderall all day.
Okay, so what have you been through that you think Oprah would be interested in?
Well, I was Albert Einstein. And also, like, I've been like every prophet, I've written every sacred scripture on earth, like all the, like the Quran, like I was Muhammad. I was like, I don't want to go through all the names, but I basically been like, I've gone in history every single time I've come to earth, because that was God's challenge to me. He told me that he wanted me to come to earth and walk around and kind of show how to live life. And so, like, it's really, I know, and I guess it's hard to believe, and that's why I've had a problem with it. People are like, well, how could you possibly be famous every time? I'm like, no, hell no, I wasn't famous every time I came here. I ended up being famous after I died, and that's always been the problem. Is like my life, like I struggled my whole life of like doing my work, and then as soon as I drop dead, they take my work, and they're like, okay, well, thank you very much. But like, I was married from the Bible, and actually, and that's the crazy thing. So I was, that Jesus wasn't crucified. I was crucified. So I know I'm making it so really serious all of a sudden.
So you were crucified?
Yeah.
Like on a cross?
By Jesus. Like Jesus set up by crucifixion. And Joseph, my husband, was to like rope to me to my left, and then Gabriel, the creator, like, so our creator, his rope to my right. His name is Gabriel, and he was my best friend in that life. But I mean, I'm not really mad about the crucifixion, but I'm really mad about the fact that everybody is calling Jesus their savior, and like, and I was Buddha. So here's the thing is like, I going down, I was Lord Buddha, and I was the last Buddha, and I figured out how to escape the karmic wheel, and I taught everybody that I knew about how to free yourself from the karmic wheel, which is essentially freeing yourself from the sins. And so I was the one who freed humanity from their sins by teaching everybody how to get out of that wheel, and so everybody was free. So as soon as I died when I was Buddha. So that's what freed humanity, and that was the big save. But I mean, I was attempting to be honest about it. But then when I went to my life as Mary, like, the Annunciation, I said, the Annunciation picture that Leonardo da Vinci drew. There's an Annunciation where Archangel Gabriel shows up and says, "You're going to have a child, and it's a savior." So the Annunciation was really my mother Madonna was Madonna Magdalene, and so I was Mary Magdalene, but my name was spelled differently, and so I only went by the name Mary, and my father sent me off to live with Joseph and Mary Joseph, and then we ended up. And so here's the thing: you want to know how the Virgin Mary thing happened? It's true. Like so I told you I come out. So, like, I'm not so shy after all, but so am I freaking you out?
No, this is so interesting.
Huh?
This is so interesting.
Yeah, so what happened was Joseph masturbated to me, and then he put it in his cum inside of me. And actually Joseph was God, so God he incarnated as Joseph, and so I was a Virgin Mary, and I got pregnant off of his semen. Because I guess he's God, and he figured out how to, you get pregnant like that, and they almost stoned me, and so Joseph made up some bullshit about I don't know, and so I got out of stoning, and then and I had Jesus, and his name is actually Honor Minu, and so Jesus was back, and he's Joel Osteen, the preacher,
yeah.
So Jesus is back, and he's Joel Osteen. So everybody's back. So the thing that I really the thing that I was reaching out to Oprah Winfrey, and what I really want to talk to her about is I'm kind of disturbed by her interview with Meghan Markle. I don't know if she worships her or something like that, but the royal family is so effed up, it doesn't even make sense. So have you heard of Lady Jane Grey?
I think so.
Jane Grey. So she's known as Jane Grey. So my title was Lady Jane Grey, and the creator Ra, who's not Jesus and not God. God is not our creator. Our creator's name is Ra. And he incarnated into King Edward VI's body, and he was when I was a child, he asked me to be the Queen of England. So he wrote in his will he passed off the monarch to me, and which is called the divine right of the kings. And so it's an authority by God, like you have the divine authority of God. And so I think I was like 15 or 16, I was coronated, and I was the Queen of England. And then here's this shit. Like they even have my signature on Wikipedia that says Jane the Queen, right? And they still refuse to put Queen Jane Grey as the Wikipedia title. They just say Lady Jane Grey, so it's just so disrespectful. But so what happened was they claimed that I was beheaded, but I actually was brutally tortured for 3 years in 2 separate towers by 27 different men. Like I was tortured all day long, every day, like all day long, and it was beyond. The head angel came to me and his wife, and he's like, that was the worst thing that has ever happened to anybody in the history of the universe. And so my crown was stolen from me, and technically I am legitimately the monarch of England, because they're not a legitimate monarch. It's supposed to be the divine right of the kings, which is a very serious thing, which like you have to have the authority you have to be trusted by somebody that knows God and trusts in God. And so all of the people that have ever been on the since me, like since Marye, her name is spelled Marye, and yet it shows in Wikipedia Queen Mary, but it was Queen Elizabeth right now was Marye, the one that stole my crown and sent me off to the towers to be
okay,
tortured.
just hold on 1 second. I'm just gonna add caller. Kermit and Friends.
I'd like to know what Kay thinks about religion today, and if one religion has a more direct path to God than any other.
Great question. Kay, did you hear that question from Peter?
No.
So he was asking about like religions, like what religion, you think there's a great religion, one better than others? Like,
well, yeah. So
yeah.
I'm in the process of writing it. Like it's called the Vidyan, Vidyan. And so that's my job in this life, and my task in this life is to write the final scripture for the universe. And so it's supposed to replace all scriptures on earth. So so that's why I've been begging Oprah Winfrey to like let me talk to you, because I have to tell the world your scriptures are going bye-bye, and I have the authority from God to throw them away. And so I have to explain to people, and I can't just like sell a book at Barnes and Noble and hope that it gets out to people. do you have any idea how much work I've done to get to the point where I write scriptures for the planet and the universe? It's like, I don't know. So you know Muhammad, right? The Quran. I believe that's the book I wrote with. I get confused. So I wrote in the Quran. I said if you sacrifice yourself, for your enemy, you'll go to paradise. And the Mormon, the Quran tangles it up and says if you sacrifice your enemy, you go to paradise. And so all of my scriptures.
Okay. Kay, you have a lot of great history.
Yeah.
You've been a lot of great people. But what I would say,
that's not really.
No.
I mean, I wouldn't say I was great people. I was just a normal person that's like had a lot of shit going on, and I had no choice. Like God told me I had to go down in history every single time I walked Earth. They're like, I don't remember the threat it was, but he ordered me to like, and I'm followed by scribes, and also actually I always forget about this because it seems kind of unreal, but I have 20 billion archangels that are constantly following me and they help me all the time. And I'm like violently psychic, so I can talk to beings from all over the universe. And so I do have help in all of these incarnations. Like I do have like great high beings from like the highest places in earth. I mean, the universe, and like that come down and sit around me and guide me and talk me through and pass me along information. So I don't just do it on my own. And so I guess sometimes it comes off that way when I'm telling my story. And so that's the reason why I have.
Did God mention me at all? Did he say anything about me?
Oh, dude, he was so offended. I mean, he kind of he's not talking about it. But when I read that, I was like, holy shit, because God is my husband, and so he's like.
Did God mention me?
Well, no. So I mean, he's not allowed to like talk names, but he did talk about you. He's like that was fucked up. He said they're gonna be really embarrassed when they meet me. Well, the one that said you weren't close to God.
Okay, are you? So
didn't you say your church kicked you out because?
Yeah, my church told me I wasn't close enough to God to be baptized. What did God say?
Oh yeah,
about
well no, he was really excited for me to come on your show. He's like this is better than Oprah Winfrey, and I was like okay.
Well, on that note, God is right. This
But
is
he
better
really
than
does love
Oprah.
you. Like, I mean, I don't know what happened that they accuse you of being not close with God, because obviously you came straight to his wife and was like, "Hey, come on my show." Like, I can't explain how much closer you have to be than that. It's like, you know what I mean?
Okay, I really hope you become a part of this community. You are excellent. We're all going to follow your religion. Okay, we're excited about you, and I want you to continue to spread the good word. Will you do that?
Yeah. I mean, that's not really my thing. I don't do that. I'm not going to do the work of spreading the word. That's everybody else's job to, I'm used to coming here and slaving away, and then everybody taking it and then and selling it after I leave. So
wait, so you're not going to spread the good word?
There's not really such a thing as good word. So then
why go on Oprah? I don't understand why I go on Oprah and why go on
because I want to explain to people. I want to give them a chance to say that there's a new scripture out and I'm writing it, and you are expected to read it and follow it. And I have this religious war that's going on. But you know what is actually the most important thing for me to talk about is my life as Albert Einstein. Like the above all of my lives, like that was the only one that was precious to me, and I miss being Albert so much. And I'm sorry, I don't want to get emotional, but I was treated like crap in that life. They called me stupid. They called me crazy. And it was a very sad, hard life for me. So it wasn't like people think that I'm bragging about being Albert Einstein, but it's not brag. Like the only thing that, and so I just kind of want the world to be like, "Hey, Albert, we're glad you're back," and I'd be like, "Thank you."
So when you were Albert Einstein, people said you were stupid?
Yeah, they call me stupid all the time. The kids in the classes and kids, they thought they called me stupid. So finally, and they call me crazy. But
all right. So after this show, Kay, we have a wrap-up show. Okay, this wrap-up show is hosted by my co-host Wheezy. I hope you go on that. Are you available?
Yeah, I mean, I've got all night.
Okay, perfect. Okay. So you're going to be part of the community, and everybody's going to go on the wrap-up show. It's going to be terrific. And they're going to go over everything that happened here. So Marni the Wing Girl, Brad Grunberg from Sons of Anarchy and Curb Your Enthusiasm. And of course, you, K Jobs, who I'm calling Kermitarian of the Week for coming forward as Albert Einstein, Gandhi, and whoever else. God bless you.
Gandhi. I wasn't Gandhi. A guy named Jared Garonick was Gandhi.
Oh, okay. Sorry. I thought you were Gandhi.
I want to interrupt you and say thank you so much for inviting me on here. Because I've been reaching out to people for years, asking to be like, "Hey, I'm Albert Einstein," and everybody ignores me. And I'm like, this is the first time that somebody was like, "Hey, come on, I want to talk about it." And the only thing I really care about is people because I don't want to continue so long, but so that the hardest thing about that life was I feel like an alien, like I didn't belong here. And after I died, the world remembered me with so much love. And I came back and I just saw this love, my posters of worship. They basically, everybody worships Albert Einstein now, you know what I mean? And I never really
you must
understood
feel good
that.
about that. You must feel very good about that. Now you're around.
It cured my heart and my soul, and it makes me feel good all the time. And that's why I kind of want to scream at the top of my lungs. I thought I would think the world would be like that. I think that's really cool that I'm back. And because of course I'm coming back. I love this world so much, and I work so hard for it, But hey, if anything can, I'm in Princeton, New Jersey right now, and which is where I lived when I was Albert Einstein. So I came here because it's my home, and my old house is I really want my old house back.
Albert Einstein's house?
Yeah, it's a small little house. It's not a big mansion or anything, and and so nobody lives in it. They just some company buys it and they just let it sit there. And I want to throw it.
Kay, do you work? Do you have money?
I don't have to pay for. I feel like it should be one of those things I'm Albert Einstein. Can I please have my house?
Huh. Wait, but do you have any employment at all, or have you ever?
I get money from the VA.
Oh, the VA. Okay. All right. Great. So I hope that you get that house. Is it available? Is it up?
They're not selling it because it's I don't know. And so that's the thing is I don't know.
Do you live with anyone?
No, I just moved back to New Jersey I was in Missouri. I got an accident in September, so I was in a nursing home for 3 months. I was in the hospital for 2 months, in a nursing home for 3 months, and so I just moved out here to New Jersey.
All right. Well, you're doing great. You're now a Kermitarian, which is a plus. We're going to be talking about you on the wrap-up show. Everybody, how can they contact you through social media so they could bring you to the wrap-up show and every other show? How do they contact you?
I put all my information. I signed up for that site, but I'll give it to you guys. If you just look me up on K Jobs and Facebook and everywhere else, I'm there.
Okay, so K Jobs on Facebook. Everybody reach out to her, invite her on your shows. She's very special. Were you Jesus?
Oh my God, no! Jesus is the one who had me crucified.
But you were God's wife. I misinterpreted who you were.
Like hundreds of trillions of years ago we got married, and so but we are husband and wife, and we have a husband to get another. Like my soulmate is his husband, and so God has a husband. So God's gay. Turns out God's so it's like homosexuality. So God was also Adolf Hitler and Steve Jobs. So God was Steve Jobs, and so that's his beautiful life. And Adolf Hitler he says he did not start the Holocaust, and that he was framed for it.
Okay. So this is a lot of information. I just posted the wrap-up show. I'm posting the Discord server as well. Everybody, save that wrap-up show link. Save this Discord. Be a part of it. There's a lot of
T-Bob. Who's T-Bob Love? Is that the boyfriend you're mad at?
Yes. That's
you just said she's a nut. I just want to say, like, if you think I'm a nut, you're a nut. Everything I say is absolutely true, and I feel sorry for the existence that you have to live, that you're like so out of touch with reality that you can't vibrate with the truth. So I hate it when people say that shit to me, like just like have fun. She's a cuckoo nut. I mean, it's not really hurting me, so I think you're stupid.
So are people stupid for not thinking Hitler was God?
No, but so here's the thing: is like God, Hitler, Adolf. No, God was Adolf. He incarnated as Adolf Hitler. He incarnated as Joseph. So this is what we have to like. So God has been framed as the face of evil. And so, but God is saying, and I translated some of his speeches that he gave in front of Germany, and all he did was talk about unity and coming together, and he didn't say anything about a Holocaust or anything like that. And so immediately
after the Holocaust, Hitler? Wait, Kay, do you think Hitler, people didn't understand who he was, similar to people don't understand who you are?
Exactly.
Okay. All right, so we're going to yeah, no problem.
I didn't mean to freak out on your boyfriend, but I think it's just really rude when people call people nuts and stuff like that. It's just so mean. Have you heard Nicholas Copernicus? The guy who said this world isn't flat and it's round, and I was that guy, and the same shit that nuts thing is what they did to me in that life. And they're like, and I remember walking around one day and I looked up at the sky and I was like, whoa, it looks round. And I was like, I don't think we're on a flat land, people. And all of a sudden, from that day forward, I was called crazy and nuts, and oh my God, I got treated so horrible and awful in that life. And I would say half of my lives I get treated like this. So I'm a nutcase. And then I go down history and I help the world and I make it better, and I walk a saintly life every time and I do nothing wrong. But nobody can ever prove that I've done anything wrong or F anything up. But it's but I do have to experience my entire life people calling me nutcase, and people like Oprah Winfrey blocking me because all I do is talk to them. I'm trying to talk to them and say hi. And so you see how I'm intense and stuff like that. And that's kind of why I wanted somebody like that who I think she could probably handle it.
Listen, Oprah obviously can't handle you.
Do you not like her? I'm starting to not like her.
But we can handle you. And we'll handle anything you have for us here on Kermit and Friends. So please join us every Sunday at 11 a.m. PST. Bring your story. Bring who you are. You don't have to hide from us. We're nicer than Oprah. And I'll see you next week on Kermit and Friends.
Catch me in the sky. I grow wings, yeah, I've been getting high. Where the angels sing, girl, don't you cry. Yeah, it's just a dream, girl, don't you cry. Don't you cry. I'm soaring higher than I've ever been before. Among the chosen in the sky. Catch me in the light, hear me sing, yeah, I've been chopping lines where the angels sing, girl, let's get high. Yeah, it's just a dream, girl, let's get high. Let's get high. I'm soaring higher than I've ever been before. Among the chosen in the sky. Catch me soaring high, soaring through the sky. Amongst the chosen, I must fly. I'm soaring higher than I've ever been before. Among the chosen in the sky. Among the chosen in the sky.